This is update for November 19, 2023, day 634 of the war, end of the date update. Also catch up for November 17 and 18. This is going to be short update. There's really not much going on. Just want to mention sort of general strategic developments inside of Ukraine. As I mentioned before, there were rumors that three senior sort of general level people will be fired in Ukraine. So one of them was fired. It's actually she, and she's a head of the basically medical service within the army. She's replaced with a new person. A couple days before, Ukrainian president fired head of external intelligence service. So it all looks like attempts to create illusion of change by Ukrainian political top, Ukrainian president. The problem is actually systemic, and changing people from person A to person B is not going to change, because systemic means that you need to change incentives and relationships, how each position works within the system. Simply replacing A for B is just B is going to be doing what A was doing before, and things are not going to change. So again, this shows that there's no really understanding even how to change, how to move forward. There's probably feeling that the situation is becoming difficult, and I wouldn't say dire, but there's a pressure, real pressure, and it's probably being felt by Ukrainian political top, or Ukrainian president, because as we all know, there's delay with help. It's sort of up in the air. I do believe that it's going to happen sometime in December, if things will go sort of the way they are right now, unless there is some new political eruption in the U.S. The bill should pass. As I said, it's going to be probably bipartisan situation where it will be a Democratic Party in the U.S. Parliament that will support for the most, and then probably half of the Republican Party. So it's going to be something similar would happen for this extension of the budget financing that happened, I think, a week ago. So basically, this is in some way new sort of majority that's effectively being formed in the U.S. Parliament. It's it's obviously not sort of formal political, but it's de facto. That's de facto what's happening there. As I said, there's a very clear realization that there is a problem inside of Ukraine. There's open discussion about more mobilizing more people and so on, which is again knee-jerk reaction that's not going to lead to anything, because this is just actually a sign that there is no vision, no strategic understanding how to move forward in this difficult situation. But there is a realization that things are not going right, and at the same time there is no, as I said, vision how to switch from to qualitative advantage over quantitative advantage, because as I said before, Ukraine cannot win this war in a quantitative way, because simply Ukraine is smaller than Russia. Now I'm going to do a walk through the front line in a clockwise fashion, the way I always do, starting from very north. Situation along the state border remains the same, no essential changes there. Now let's jump to the North Lugansk front line. Things here are more or less quiet, except there is some Russian pressure northeast of Kupiansk here. So far, this is all tactical pressure. Again, nothing major. Russian troops just keeping pressure so that Ukrainian command cannot sort of rotate troops and so on. Now let's move to North Donbass front line. Things in the northern sector of the front line, it's basically quiet as it's always been as being for a while. Let's put it this way. And then in the southern part, Russian forces again putting tactical pressure. They actually do have some small gains in around Klishchiivka. It's nothing huge, like 100 meters or something like that. So it's not really even possible to show on the map. And again, this is all just extremely small, minuscule tactical successes so far. Now let's move to central Donbass front line. So first situation around Avdiyivka. Russian forces do have again also tactical successes. Situation here though is getting somewhat, I would say, worse. Let me jump there. This is how it used to be on the 14th. This is force, and the important development here was capturing this bridgehead on the other side of the railroad. The sort of next negative development is that Russian troops crossed the railroad here towards this village Keramic, which again creates springboard for basically advancing in this north-northwestern direction. And that is actually biggest threat in this whole development. Is actually movement the Russian troops in this direction is actually the most dangerous for being able to hold Avdiyivka. This advances here, while they are unpleasant for Ukrainian side, they are not sort of strategically important in terms of this local situation. The more important is this advance towards Keramic, which makes it less and less possible for Ukrainian side to hold on to Avdiyivka in the long run. Effectively, this is sort of World War I in its sort of worst way, and Russian command is willing to commit whatever resources, whatever they need to achieve the goal, and basically it's turning into a meat grinder. And Ukrainian side does not have effective answer to this meat grinder strategy, and as I said before, it cannot engage in sort of equivalent meat grinder simply because Ukrainian forces have fewer resources in terms of people. But so far, every this sort of small baby bites, basically, they make it less and less possible for Ukraine to hold on to Avdiyivka. That's essentially the essence of it. Now let's move to Zaporizhya front line. Things here actually quiet, with exception of this Russian tactical attacks towards Rozhayne. The sort of news here is that Russian sort of propaganda channels are showing that Russian forces were using gliding cluster bombs. So basically, there is Russian response to what Ukraine got from the US, and it's equally nasty. Let's put it this way. Now let's move to front line along Dnipro River. Things here are sort of developing in very, very slow motion. Ukrainian forces are slowly basically enlarging this bridgehead around Krinky. It's still tiny. It's again essentially the movement is like 100 to 200 meters, and nothing meaningful so far. Russian troops holding on and essentially blocked meaningful advance from this bridgehead. As I said before, the problem here is that Ukrainian side need to decisively break out quickly, which the moment has been lost, or it's going to turn into sort of meat grinder. That's where effectively Ukraine has there's no sort of light at the end of the tunnel for Ukraine. The sort of saving grace here is that Ukrainian artillery on the other side is essentially protecting this bridgehead and preventing Russian troops from eliminating it. So that's on the positive side. That sort of reduces losses on the Ukrainian side, but it reduces, but does not eliminate. They still significant. Obviously, Russian side has larger losses just because they are attacking, they're attempting to eliminate this bridgehead. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.